Welcome back to another installment of Media Mesh, where I give my unapologetic opinion about everything from music, movies, television, reality TV, and if you're willing to go down the rabbit hole with me, some thought-provoking content. So if you dig it, get into it and subscribe. Now, I promised myself I wasn't going to say too much about this foolishness right here. So I'm going to let it play. But I will say this, if this is not the face of a Manchurian candidate, I don't know what is. He looks simple as I don't know what. And he's been chosen to do whatever he was supposed to do. And for the families, definitely sorry to hear that. But I will tell you up front, as you will hear in some of my other videos that's coming up, I go deep down the rabbit hole. So I have a theory about everything. I don't believe nothing. I'll just leave it there. Let's hear what they got to say.
Why'd you shoot all those people, Frank?
Just one day after his arrest ended a nearly 30-hour manhunt across New York City, the alleged subway gunman making his first court appearance. Frank James was denied bail Thursday. His lawyers didn't object. The 62-year-old suspect sat in prison clothes as a federal judge told James he's accused of committing a terrorist act or other violence against a mass transportation system. Asked if he understood the charge, James replied, yes. The assistant U.S. attorney saying James was a flight risk and still presented a serious risk of danger to the community. Prosecutors calling the rampage premeditated and carefully planned. The suspect's attorneys asking the public to be open-minded about a man accused of shooting 10 people.
Mr. James saw his photograph on the news. He called Crime Stoppers to help.
But a senior law enforcement official tells NBC police were already closing in after NYPD spotted this tweet around 10:30 a.m. Wednesday.
You're walking around the East Village. What made you say that's Frank James?
I mean, there was just so much movement around me everywhere. There was cars, there was people, there was so much movement. And then there was one still guy just sitting on a bench, resting, not drinking, not eating, not on his phone, not reading anything.
In a Today broadcast exclusive, Jack Griffin telling me he snapped those Twitter photos Wednesday morning on a photo class field trip.
So you were close enough for him to hear that?
Yes, I was.
The 17-year-old says that shutter noise alerted James, who began walking away as Griffin pretended to photograph his friends so he could capture one more image before posting and contacting police.
I'm super, super proud of that, but it wasn't just my tip. There were so many tips going on. I'm just happy that, again, that he's off the streets.
James's attorneys requested that he receive a psychiatric evaluation and also revealed that he suffers from leg cramps. He has not yet entered a plea, but if convicted, James could face up to life in prison. Meanwhile, the chief of the New York City subway system says from Tuesday, the day of the attack, to Wednesday, there was a slight uptick in the number of riders on the train system, but there are certainly still New Yorkers who are hesitant to get on those trains. Savannah?
Wow, you couldn't have planned it no better. My man said he has Anyway, listen, y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comments. Like I said, this was just so perfect. Everything just came together. He just, his simple self is just still loitering about town. He get leg cramps sometime and he just turned himself in. So the attorneys say, hey, keep an open mind. So he's seen himself on TV. So I guess people are supposed to feel sorry for him because he's seen his simple, tired-looking self on TV and call Crime Stoppers. Well, if you committed the crime, then, you could have just walked slowly down to the police precinct for all of that. Anyway, I'll go down the rabbit hole a little bit later, guys. Well, like, share, and subscribe, and get into it.